One of my biggest takeaways from traveling the world over the last 8 years is that human beings from any and all nationalities, genders, ethnicities, and beliefs are talented. We find ways to innovate, improvise, and succeed, whether it's related to our work life, personal life, or both. Over the years, I've been fortunate enough to meet talented people and share their inspiring stories for how they've turned their skills into profitable careers. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 of my favorite stories, and we begin with Neil from the Philippines.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hi guys, this is Neil from the Philippines, and beatboxing changed my life. So I discovered my talent when I was 12 years old. So yeah, half of my life I've been beatboxing. I discovered this in our bathroom. Yeah, because our neighbor was playing a very loud music, the song of Michael Jackson, the Billie Jean. And I was wondering what if I'll mimic this using just my voice, my mouth, and yeah.
I want to hear the original Billie Jean. Go.
Yeah.
Wow!
That's the first song I learned. And then I keep on practicing, searching on YouTube the basic sounds, and then every time I heard a song, a music, I just applying it and practicing it. That is why I got this talent. It's all self-taught, man.
24-year-old Neil grew up in a southern Filipino city called Davao. I first discovered him from this viral YouTube video, and considering that I've always wanted to go to Davao, I thought he'd be the perfect person to hang out with. Turns out that his story is as inspiring as they come. Okay, so you knew you were really good, your friends knew you were really good. When did you decide, hey, I want to try to perform on a big scale?
When I was, I think 14, 15 years old. In our school, high school, my classmate pushing me, "Ma'am, Neil has a talent, he wants to perform." And I was shy, and then I performed a speech laboratory, and then that's my first performance. The teachers are happy, the students are happy. Every time there's an event in our school, they're always shouting, "Neil, yeah, Ness!" I've joined talent national competition here in Philippines, and I've won. It's called Talentadong Pinoy.
Okay, and then that was when you were like, okay, I can make it a career.
Yeah, because I'm happy, and then the money that I earn, the money there is just like the reward. The important is I'm happy and inspiring people, especially the kids.
But there was one opportunity to perform that changed his life forever, and it was on Asia's Got Talent.
Hello, tell me what's your name and where have you come from?
My name is Neil, and I'm from Davao City, Philippines. This is my first time overseas. Yes,
really?
This is my first time.
Yeah, Asia's Got Talent is the biggest break because it's not just the Philippines saw it, this Asia. Actually, I've joined season 1. That video gone viral. I was qualified on the semifinals, but I backed out because of the studies. I need to study first. And then after 2 years of studying, I've graduated, I have a degree. I've joined Asia's Got Talent season 2. And that's the time I got the finalist. And now I think it's more than 100 million views.
100 million?
Yeah.
How does it feel to have, I've never had 100 million.
Me too. As a beatboxer, I'm the most viewed on YouTube. When you search the word beatbox, the first one to appear, it's my audition in Asia's Got Talent.
And then things quickly escalated from there. After Asia's Got Talent, who booked you?
There's a lot of companies who booked me, and they are asking for me to perform in their events like awards nights. And also the Department of Tourism, Philippines, they got me to perform in other countries also to promote Philippines.
Which countries?
I've been to Russia, India, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Dubai, Turkey, Kazakhstan, in Europe, in Paris, Germany,
wow,
Spain.
And you were getting paid for all this?
Yeah, I'm paid.
That's like a dream life, man. He co-owns 2 businesses, one popular restaurant in town,
burgers and Filipino food.
And he also owns a gel business because his hair is his trademark.
Yeah, my hair is natural. I'm using my pomade. I have personal brand pomade. It's called God's Grip. It's organic.
And with the first chunk of his earnings, he bought gifts for himself and his family.
I bought a motorcycle just for my personal use and a house for my family. A lot in house.
As you can see, Neil's big heart is just as impressive as his beats. He just wants to give back to his community, and he remains extremely humble through all the fame.
You saw him on Asia's Got Talent?
Oh yeah.
What do you think about him?
Very good. Fantastic. Fantastic boy.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years, maybe I'm teaching beatboxing to the young ones, and then on my YouTube I'll post a lot of videos to inspire more kids.
It was well worth the quick trip to Davao to meet Neil and hear his amazing story of how beatboxing changed his life. I can't wait to follow his growth as he continues to inspire millions more around the world. What is one message that you want to say to the world?
One message that I can say to the world is to love everyone, to spend each day, every second to your loved ones, and be an inspiration to everyone. That's it.
Thank you so much, Neil. You are the man.
Thanks, bro.
So talented, this guy. Follow him on YouTube. What's your YouTube channel?
Neil Llanes.
Neil Llanes. He is doing big things in his life.
Thank you guys for watching. See. You. Soon.
I don't know about you guys, but I could literally watch Neil beatbox for hours and never get bored. It's truly an amazing story. The next bizarre talent I'm going to share with you today unexpectedly caught my eye while I was at a restaurant in Luanda, Angola. Get this. So we're sitting here at lunch and all of a sudden these three guys burst in the door. I thought they were painting the floors or something because they have these paint buckets, but they started breakdancing right in the restaurant. I gotta give them something. This afternoon, I sat down at a fish restaurant in Luanda, Angola. While we were waiting for our food to arrive, these three kids came in the door wearing colorful jumpsuits. They put on the most insane show I've ever seen, bending their bodies in abnormal ways and through tennis rackets.
This guy's putting a tennis racket over his body.
Everyone was just eating and minding their own business, while I was sitting here with my mind completely blown.
Casually, a kid swinging.
These guys are performing like a circus act. After their short performance, I ran outside to catch up with the trio and learn more.
Ok, olá, bom dia a todos. Aqui fala MG Amno, o grupo, os homens elásticos. Aqui é o MG2, aqui o Viali Vila. E este trabalho, iniciamos tipo uma brincadeira, né? Uma brincadeira. Ninguém sabia este trabalho, é cultura do trabalho. Agora, tanto assistir os americanos, os estrangeiros, nós também continuamos a praticar esse trabalho até agora.
Ask him how many years has he been doing this?
Há quanto tempo é que faz isso?
Já 5 anos. O puto já há 13 meses. Somos
nós conhecemos através sobre a dança. Eu fazia hip hop, breakdance e para nós conhecer o yoga foi intermédio do break. Começamos a ver vídeo de yoga. Se interessou, começou a trabalhar primeiro sozinho, começou a trabalhar, vi não posso ficar sozinho, tem que começar a puxar as pessoas que têm a vontade de fazer, têm a vontade de aprender. Primeiro puxou esse miúdo, começou a trabalhar comigo em 3 meses, como eu dançava, era um amigo dele mesmo próximo, meu amigo próximo, falei, não, você dança, por que você também pode experimentar fazer yoga? Falei, não faz mal, posso também aprender a fazer yoga, não faz mal. Até hoje formamos nosso grupo, os homens elásticos.
Do you normally perform in restaurants or how does he know where to perform?
Temos vários restaurantes, não é só aqui. Quer dizer, esse trabalho é sempre num sítio assim, onde tem muita gente, para nos facilitar mesmo para conseguir uma gente, porque pelo enquanto não tem mais gente, nenhum apoio de alguém, não tem ninguém.
Por isso não podemos ficar em casa quando nós gostamos do nosso trabalho, não podemos ficar em casa, tem que procurar qualquer coisa.
Depende quanto por dia?
Depende
também cada dia.
Um dia bom.
Um dia bom. Não posso imaginar, não posso imaginar.
Se calhar, tem que agradecer a Deus.
O domingo passado trabalhamos 25 mil. Outro domingo também talvez vamos trabalhar 15 mil, 10 mil.
Bring him to America, they'll make $1 million. They can have a show in Las Vegas.
Se estivesse nos Estados Unidos, seriam milionários.
Obrigado. É sonho.
I always wondered how many talented people are walking this earth, such as these three guys. But if you don't come from a place that presents opportunity, then sadly, your talents will remain unknown.
Obrigado.
De nada.
The third and final bizarre talent is by far the most dangerous because only a handful of people can do it in the world. Hold your breath for this one.
Hi, I'm Dan Meyer, and I swallow swords.
I love it, man.
Oh my
Check
God.
this one out. This is a 1929 Model A car axle.
Oh my God, that is so heavy.
It's really heavy.
Oh my God.
I spotted it on America's Got Talent.
That's the one you did?
Yeah.
What I have here is a car axle. This weighs about 8 pounds.
So in order to swallow a sword, what you have to do is you have to slide it into your oral cavity, over your tongue. When you get to the back of the throat, it runs at the very first reflex, which is the gag reflex. You have to repress that, navigate a 90-degree turn down the cervical esophagus right here, behind the promenade laryngeum, the Adam's apple, behind the voice box, down my esophagus and into my stomach, between the lungs. I have to actually nudge my heart to the left. I slide it down past the breastbone, down past the lower esophageal sphincter. It's a really tight muscle that kind of closes off your stomach. Slide it past the liver and kidneys, all the way down to the bottom of my stomach. If I were to go further than that, all the way down to my fallopian tubes.
Sword swallowing Dan originally comes from Indiana, and aside from his bizarre talent, he has one of the most inspiring life stories you will ever hear.
First 20 years of my life, I grew up in extreme fear. I was a loser, a wimp. I suffered from social anxiety disorder. I couldn't talk, I would shake and stutter, and the bullies would tease me and beat me up. And because of that, they said I'd never amount to anything, never be able to do anything with my life. So as a little kid, I would sit in my classroom, and my 5th grade teacher had lived in Madagascar. She was a missionary in Madagascar, and I would look out the window and I'd look at the maps and I'd dream about all these places. So as a little kid, I decided I wanted to do things the other kids could not do. I wanted to do something really remarkable with my life and somehow prove that the impossible is not impossible.
So what kind of remarkable things did you do in your life before you put a sword down your throat?
When I was 20 years old, I ended up going to India as a short-term missionary with the Lutheran Church and absolutely had my mind blown. Loved India. Week before my 21st birthday, my best buddy, who happens to live right here in Mesa, Arizona, he said, Dan, do you have thrones? And I said, thrones? What are thrones? He said, they're major life goals, like a bucket list. If you could go any place you wanted to go, do anything you wanted to do, be anyone you wanted to be, where would you go? What would you do? Who would you be? And I said, oh man, I can't do that. I'm too scared. I got too many fears. So that night, the night before my 21st birthday, I made a list of my first 10 thrones. I decided I wanted to visit all the major continents, visit the 7 wonders of the world, live on a deserted island, live on a ship in the ocean.
So as Dan slowly ticked away his life goals, he found himself living on a tiny, deserted, remote island in the Bahamas, all by himself for 7 years.
As a little kid, I always wanted to be Tarzan. So I was wearing a loincloth like I'd worn in India, and I learned how to climb the palm trees. I caught my own lobster, coconuts, I'd eat turtle grass, sharks, and stingrays for food. I had a hammock, and I had a thatch hut that I built.
Several years later, as we all know that Dan loves to push his limits, he heard about sword swallowing from a friend and decided to give it a try.
In 1997, I met a guy who was a sword swallower, George the Giant. He came through Nashville. I said, give me some tips. He said, I'll give you 2 tips. Number 1, it's extremely dangerous. Number 2, don't try it. Guess what I did? I added it to my list. So I began practicing 10 to 12 times a day, every day, for about 4 years, about 14,000 unsuccessful attempts before I got my first sword down my throat in 2001. And then after that, I started touring with Brooks & Dunn, opening for them, and it just took off from there.
How many sword swallowers can we find in the world? Professional?
When I first learned in 97, I was told there were less than a dozen. I did a lot of research, met those 12, asked for some tips. Now we're up to a few dozen professional sword swallowers. There's a few more than that have been injured or retired.
Dan gained international fame after his appearance on the popular show Ripley's Believe It or Not. Then he was a finalist on America's Got Talent.
Because I think I've seen something. Is this dangerous?
This is extremely dangerous.
Don't try this at home.
And soon went on the same talent show in Italy, France, and Israel.
I'm supposed to be in Australia right now filming Australia's Got Talent, next month doing Guinness World Record TV in Rome, and eventually the Olympics in Tokyo, and it's all canceled.
Behind you is a baseball bat case, and how many swords are in there?
There's probably 15 or 18 in there.
And you've just collected them over the years?
Over the years, I've got maybe 350 swords. These are my favorite ones that I use in my shows. This one's kind of special. This is from the 1890s. It's kind of an antique. It's a giant straight razor.
Wow.
You see there's no place that the blade's gonna go into the handle except for go up into the handle. I hate this one.
Why do you hate it?
It just doesn't feel good going down. It's too thick.
To date, Dan has over 40 world records, which range from most swords swallowed in 3 minutes to swallowing 29 swords at once.
And I got Uri Geller, one of the judges there. He inspired me as a kid because he would bend spoons and keys and stuff. I wanted to bend his mind a little bit. I pulled him up on stage and asked him to pull this sword out. And we ended up becoming really good friends. That was a cool moment for me.
That's so cool.
So we're gonna walk down here. I'm gonna try and prank a few people, see if anybody's ever seen this before, if they maybe blow their minds a little bit if we got a chance.
They definitely haven't seen it before, that's for sure.
You wanna see something cool? Does that look like a real sword?
Yes.
Check it out. Feel it. Make sure it's real. I'm gonna do it no hands.
Okay.
I'm gonna nudge my heart to the left, go between my lungs, all the way down into my stomach. I'm gonna do it no hands. Watch this.
Oh, hold out, hold out, hold out! Oh! That is, oh my gosh. Can we do it again?
Do you know what this is? Check it out.
Sword?
Check it out. Does it look like a real sword?
Yeah.
Go ahead and hold it. That's a real blade. It's not going to bend, curl, collapse at the handle or anything.
Right.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swallow this all the way down to my belt buckle, to my stomach. And you get to pull it out with your right hand.
No, I won't do that. I won't.
Well, you ready?
No.
What do you think about that?
You want me to pull that?
Check it out.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So Dan, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Man, that's a good question. 5 years from now, there's a documentary I'd love to shoot called Have Sword Will Travel, where I take my swords, go around to all the different countries, meet other sword swallowers around the world, sit down with them, ask them how they learned, what injuries they've had, and then ask them about their experiences. And we go out in their plaza, in their area, and swallow swords for their people.
Dan, what is one message that you want to say to the world?
My message to the world is, don't be afraid to try to do the impossible. You can do the impossible. The impossible is not impossible.
The truth is that Dan, Neil, and the street acrobats of Angola are just 3 examples of bizarre talents I've seen around the world. Right now, I can think of literally hundreds more, but I'll have to save that for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means the world to me. Share this video if you enjoyed, comment below what your thoughts are, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.
I was so scared that was gonna fall on me, man.
It came right towards the lens too. I was looking. Dude, I bet that's gonna be cool.
My face was like, oh, please catch it.
I'm Drew Binsky, and if you like my travel videos, please click subscribe and join me as I plan to visit every country in the world.